Narayana Swami Narayana Narayana Swami Narayana Swami Narayana Swami Narayana Swami Narayana Swami Narayana Swami Narayana Hey Swami Narayana 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 Swami Swami
Shamarajani Jai Namano Karo Vishwaparane Hari Kaho Bhakti Bharane Jamahari Urmadaro Mahari
Sri Hari Ho Hare Asane
Sukhahu
Sukahukati
Katane Karamaya
Pachodhane Sukhada Shamara
Namani Amarnapati Asata Hari
Rasikara Kajo Laj Hamari
Panata Padacho
Saibo Vimala Murate Urmavaso Najarati Prabhu Duranath Adigadrajane Todi Nakajo
Rajani Jai. Who wants to go first? Anyone specific? First up is Raj with his speech.
The same story you're gonna read that last time you read? You're gonna go further ahead?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish.
Okay. But you have to, do you know what you read last time?
Yeah.
Can you tell this, can you summarize the story before you go
It's
further?
like he started off and he was going to this place, and
Who?
then
Who's he?
Muldas and his like people who like kind of followed him or thought he was like a great saint. They asked the king to provide boats for him, and the king didn't. So Muldas like laid his carpet across like the river, and he like said some words, and then yeah, they went across the river.
Wow. Everybody got it, right? Good. Yeah, now go ahead.
The revival of the dead cat. One day, Muldas went to Gamnaga. He visited a devotee of Lord Krishna who was the head of the monastery. The ever-increasing glory of Muldas raised jealousy within the head, and instead of properly cat whose kittens were Muldas took pity upon them. He brought the dead cat into the monastery and put it in front of the head and said, "Head, you must prove yourself to be a great devotee and claim to be worshipped as God. Can you revive this cat back to life? These kittens will not survive without her." The head was confused. He said, "It is not proper to break the law of God." Then Muda said, "That is your artificial reason to escape from the challenge." The head was prompt and said to Mudas, "If you will let me see your powers." Mudas covered the cat with the cloth and took a pair of musical instruments he took in his hand. He started singing the name of God. After a few minutes, he sprinkled water upon the dead cat, and without any delay, the cat got up and ran away. They were all stunned on the act of Mudas, and the head looked down in shame. Among all such mi- miracles events in life of Mudas, the story of giving life to a woman is a unique story. It led to the birth of the great saint of the great saint of Bhagavan Swamnan, who we call Muktan Swami. It was 2 o'clock on the quiet night of Purmi, full moon. People of the village were sound asleep. Yet, even after great attempts, Mudas could not sleep that night. It was his undisclosed sign of God to Mudas. He thought to chant the Lord's name for some time, but he failed to be quite happy. At last, he decided to take a bath. He started walking toward a well on the outskirts of the village, where he used to take daily baths. He brought a rope and water pot with him. There was complete silence. Not even a flow of wind could be heard. The moon spread its cool, calm rays on the earth. Mudas chanted the name of God and proceeded towards the well. As he approached well, a strange view came in his eyes. Muda stopped. He was shocked and murmured, "It might be a ghost or a helpless woman." To confirm this, he treated quickly and realized that the woman gathering stones to commit suicide by falling into the well. Without without delay, Mudas ran swiftly to save her. In that moment, the woman spotted someone running towards her and moved quickly and hastened her attempt. Before she could reach the well, Muda snatched the stones away from her hand. Okay, that's one page.
So how many miracle Mulda showed today in this?
Yeah, one. Sure.
Last time I mentioned who's Muldas?
He's like,
Father of who? No, he's related to any of them. He's not related to anybody, Muktanand Swami or Brahmanand Swami. But what happened is there was a girl named Radha, okay, and she was pregnant, and she wanted to suicide because she wasn't married. Okay, so one day in the morning, Muldas was going towards a well for a shower in the morning. I mean, for a bathe in the morning. This back in early, so they don't have lights or anything like that. At 4 o'clock in the morning, and he saw there is a one girl is trying to suicide. So she said, "Why are you doing that?" She stopped him. He stopped him. He stopped her, and asked her why she's doing that, and she told him the story. And Muldas is actually a saint. He goes, "You know what? Don't kill yourself for this thing. Whatever it happened, it happened. But she goes, without he said, tell everybody that Muldas is the father of this baby." And she goes, "But you're a great saint. Why are you why are you taking this sin on your head? Why you take this?" He goes, "Well, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to, kill yourself. I want to save you and the baby you got." And then he did that. She said it, and everybody started hating Muldas, even though he was a great saint. Everybody started hating him. And guess what happened? Radha, she was born. I mean, she delivered a baby, and that baby was a girl again. And that girl, got raised in with Muldas, and Muldas, so she gave her a great sanskar. આપણે સંસ્કાર આપીએ ને, આપણી જગ્યાનું નામ શું છે? What is this place name? He gave her a great sanskar, and then that girl got end up marrying to somebody, some Brahmin, and then from her was born, and that boy was a Muktanand Swami. So Muldas was actually kind of like Dada of Muktanand Swami. You know, even though he had no relationship, still he took the he saved the girl, he saved the baby, and because of that, what we got today is a satsang ni andar. Muktanand Swami is considered as what of the satsang of our satsang na mother kon kehvai? Who? Muktanand Swami. Got it? So Muldas. So what did Muldas do? He took all the blames and everything to save one life. Back then it was very difficult. Right? And Muktanand Swami wanted to become any story I say, and how did he became a sant too. But anyway, this is how Muktanand Swami came to our satsang. Jai Swami.
This one then.
Next is Gurush with his story.
Jason. Nilkant had reached the shore of Lake Indradyuman in Janakpur. On the outskirts, there was a Mata monastery inhabited by Balas. 1,000 Balas lived there. They were absolutely crude and ill-mannered. Nilkant stayed there for a night. In the morning, he took a bath, performed his daily prayers, and then sat. The Balas had to cook their food, plenty of leafy garden. One of the Balas ordered Nilkant, "You little boy, bring some vegetables from the garden. Bring only the tender ones, not with big leaves." The Bala had asked Nilkant to pluck spinach, but Nilkant did not do it. The Bala scolded Nilkant and repeated his order. "Go pluck the green spinach, I say." Nilkant, however, calmly replied, "Since it has a life in it, I won't pluck it." On hearing this, Ababa got angry and shouted, "Why don't you obey the order of our head? Go and pluck the vegetables at once." So saying, he took out his sword and began to frighten Nilkant, but Nilkant was unmoved. The Bala therefore rushed towards Nilkant with his sword. Nilkant cast a glance at the other Balas. Some of them tried to prevent him. They said, "Why are you intimidating this young celibate? Why don't you pluck the vegetables yourself?" Thus the Balas became angry with them, and a quarrel rose among the Balas. They split up in two groups. They began to fight against each other. Driven by anger, all of them fought fiercely, and many were killed. Then Nilkant left that place and went for Jagannath Puri. So, does anyone want to say what the moral is? Yeah, don't be angry. Don't. Yeah, don't hurt living things. Don't like get angry. What? Huh? Oh, I just signed.
Next is Isha with her bhajan on page 80. 79. Sorry. Ganchamarani je menir kashi garapura masu re mahaguni ala gobina da re menir kashi garapura masu kakari re mahaguni ala gobina bayahari re che shamasari
सुखकारी रे राजेश्वरी राधा सात भव भयहारी रे
श्याम शरीरे शोभता सुखकारी रे राजेश्वरी राधा सात भव भयहारी रे
कुंडल मकरा नागजरी जल की रैया हाय रे ऊपर हार हाय हरि बर हसिया रे मुझा हृदय कमलनी माया मोहन वसिया रे
मेरी ख्याशी घन पूरमा सुखकारी रे महागुणियल गोपीनाथ भव भयहारी रे
जामो जरियानी दरियो काल शेलु बुरान बुर सोबे मेरे साल बोझी तेरे दासांग वेद दरिया ना तेरे मेरी कर्पूर
सुखकारी
रे महागुणियल गोपीनाथ भव भयहारी रे फूल लटका करीने दाब कर मारे शमी राजे क्रुमाल राज कुमाल बंसी बगारे रे प्रेम आनंद पूर्ण पमारे रे
मेरी ख्याशी घन पूरमा सुखकारी रे महागुणिनाथ भव भयहारी रे
मिलकर एशमी नदियानु चरु जंजर चरनामा मेरा रस रूप शोभे रस रूप बगांगल यूरे जाने चल के चेना करते चंद्रमल यूरे
मेरी पूरमा सुखकारी रे महागुणियल गोपीनाथ भव भयहारी
मरमली मूर्ति नटवर नंद किशोर विश्वरी हरि लाल जी कोटि चनचित चोर मंगल करी रे हारो अवती अलबेलाए हमारी रे
मेरी ख्याशी घन पूरमा सुखकारी रे महागुणियल भयहारी रे
Next is Purva with his speech.
They had a cow. Her name was Gonti. Normally the cow was milked twice a day. Every time she used to give 2 liters of milk. Even when she was milked for 4 times a day, she gave the same. However, it came to know this was very bad. Ghanshyam liked this cow very much. Even the cow liked Ghanshyam very much. In fact, there was a sort of relationship between Ghanshyam and the cow. So Ashni Babi began to think about this. She wanted to test this. So one day when Dharmadev was taking his meal, Ashni Babi gave one milk to Dharmadev and Rampatap. She gave less quantity of milk to Ghanshyam and Icharam. She did this because they were younger in age. In this way, she members of the family and took meals with Bhakti. Babi went to milk the cow. Now the cow gave only 2 of milk. Oh mother, the cow Gonti gave today only half the quantity of milk. So Ashni Babi told Mata. Then Bhaktimata asked her, in what manner have you served the morning? On hearing this, she told her everything, how she had served milk to everyone in the morning. Then Bhaktimata said, this happened because doubts in your mind. at the time of dinner in the same way as she had served in the morning. On the next day in the morning, Suhasini Babi went to milk the cow. At that time, she got a cup of milk from the cow. She was surprised to find this and went to Bhakti Mata and asked her, "Mother, today the cow only gave 1 cup of milk. How, now what shall we do?" "Have faith and do not have negative thoughts in your mind while serving Gansham," said Bhakti Mata. Distributed the milk equally among all. Then she wanted to milk the cow. This time the cow gave liters of milk. Suhasini Babi was astonished to find this sort of miracle. Now she came to know about the Lord of glory of Lord Gansham from his incarnation. Suhasini Babi also realized that whatever she had done was unfair. The cow had great affection for Gansham. In a way, the cow had some divine power within her. She lessened the milk when Lord Gansham was not given the satisfactory quantity of the milk. So Hasni Babi again began to give more milk when the milk was served equally to Gansham along with others. Indeed, Gomti the cow had many wishes. She used to give 2 liters of milk whenever she was milked. Even when she was milked after 2 days, she would give the same quantity of milk. On every fourth day, 2 kg of ghee was prepared from the milk cream, and that was almost prepared from the milk of this cow. In this way, this cow was miracle one. In fact, Swasni Babi wanted to test the cow's love for Gansham, but which does doing so she reminded with that milk and ghee. Otherwise, the quantity of the milk in the pot would have remained the same even after serving it into a number of guests at a time. When Suhasini Babi realized that Gansham is the incarnation of Brahma, she bowed down to Lord Gansham and prayed to him, "Have mercy on me, forgive her for giving less quantity of milk." Thereafter, Suhasini Babi said, "O Lord, it is my desire that I shall the same sort of love that Gomti has for you. And I also wish that I shall never think about you as a human being like others. Please give me 2 goons. O Lord, I am only mercy to you, and you are my supreme God." Lord Gansham heard her prayer because very glad and granted her 2 goons. So let's pray to Lord Gansham to give us some goons which he gave to Suhasini Babi. So the moral is that we shouldn't love Maharaj only when he helps us or gives us stuff. Like we should love him the same amount when he's helping us or when we're in a bad situation and he didn't help us. We shouldn't only love him when he helps us.
My question is, what did Gomti do? What did Gomti cow did? Can you say it in speaker so everybody could hear? Huh? Right. But why did she give less milk? Now we have to put ourselves in Gomti's feet. Okay. Think ourselves is like a, do we love Maharaj more than anybody else? I mean, what I'm trying to say is, let's say, we get into the situation where we are, you know, choice of doing satsang and choice of going to the, let's say, a party or whatever, you know what I say? I mean, what do we choose?
Party.
So we don't have the same love as Gomti has for Maharaj, right? So we need to learn that, right? We need to get that, right? Yeah, that's what it is. We need to get more love towards Maharaj. Things like that. But
Okay.
say
Just
something.
Next is Aditi from Dharma. Yeah.
No, I think there is a one point is missing in this one. How did pigeon fly away? What did they do so they flew away? Simultaneously. That's a main word, right? Same time, all of them, took a like a tried flying. So there is enough strength they had, so they flew with the net. Does that make sense? So what is that telling us? See, individually, we don't have a way of flying by ourselves, right? But all of us together, as a satsangi, as a group, when we try, we help each other to fly from Maya. You know what I'm saying? With the Maya, we can fly. And then Santo or Maharaj will look at it and says, you know what, these guys are trying it. So they will cut the net and we'll be free. Does that make sense? So what is the main thing we need to do? What is the main thing we need to do? Can anybody answer?
We have to use each other to help ourselves rise in satsang.
That's one point, but yeah, we have to help each other. That's true, and we have to help each other, and simultaneously, all of us have to stay in satsang. That's the most important thing. If you stay in satsang, then you'll be able to fly away. But if you don't stay in satsang, like these pigeons flew together, then they were able to do it. Same thing in satsang. If we stay together, then we will be able to get out of this thing. Otherwise, we won't be able to get out. That's the main thing. Does that make sense? You have to stay together. You have to stay together as a one team. basically. Nowadays, this new agile development is going on in the world. Is a that's important thing to get. It's the most important thing is basically stay together and stay together so we can fight through this. Otherwise, it will be difficult. This I was talking about new agile development they're doing. It's like a team, basically. Team, you have to be together. It's not one person. It's not two-person. Whole team is responsible for it. And same way in this one is like if we all try together, then this will be easier and it will be doable. J.M.S.M.
Like cut their ties with him.
I don't think he heard it. You have to say keep it close and say.
Like it said, like they'll cut their ties with him.
Anybody want to try? What is the you guys have you heard what the story was about? What is this story? Did you guys hear the story? Krush, did you hear the story? What was the story about? Can you tell, please?
So, I don't know.
Purva, do you know? Did you hear the story? No. Can you summarize the story? Because I don't think kids here heard your story. I think your voice was a little low, or maybe they were distracted. Right. Why did he say that? Why only thing is Bhagwan is the only thing matter? Does any kids want to try this here? Do you guys know that what Swamiji said at the end of last last Swami no je ઉપદેશ કહીએ ને, last wisdom line? Do you know what Mota Swami said in last wisdom line? He said, this is Swami said, okay? He said, everybody is a Swarthi. Bhagwan Siva, everybody is a Swarthi. Do you know what Swarthi is? Swarthi means? Do you know what selfish means? He says everybody is selfish except Bhagwan. Do you guys agree with that? Then why would we love somebody else when that person is actually selfish? Would you, if you find out, let's say, if somebody is cheating you, would you try to trust that person? Would you do business with him next day? He says everybody is cheating. And we still trust them. We still do business with them. Because why? Huh? Yeah, we are selfish too, I agree. But that doesn't mean that you try to deal with somebody who's selfish, right? Would you? That's what you think, but it's not necessarily true. The other person thinks he's making profit, and you think you're making profit. In fact, both are losing. In fact, both are losing, It's like Maharaja કેવું example આપ્યું, like dog હોય, નાનો dog, right? નાનું એને આપણે bone આપીએ તો bone, he thinks that bone is sweet, and bone has a taste in it, and he would bite on it. Does it have a taste on in a bone? Then why does he get taste out of it? He's eating what is? Right, exactly. That is exactly the situation is happening here. You know what I'm saying? We think we're getting love out of somebody. We're cheating somebody. In fact, you're not cheating somebody. You're cheating yourself. Now, would you really trust that, you would cheat your own self? I mean, would you try to do business like that? And we still do it. We still forget. We don't believe this is true. But Swamiji said this is true. That's meaning it is true in our life. Whether you like it or not, you will still do whatever you're going to do. But Swamiji said everybody's selfish, so you do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you truth. And you'll find out maybe not now, maybe 10 years, 20, 30, 50, 60 years at the end. And that bad, you'll find out, you know what? Everybody's selfish. You don't care about everybody now. It's a sad story, but that's a true story too. बराबर ना? G.M.S.M.
Next is Hitesh with his bhajan / tune. Hitu, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Shamananaye Murti Sambharena Bolo Sami Narayana
Murti Sambharena Bolo Swami Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana Swami Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana Swami Narayana
Murti Sambharena Bolo Swami Narayana
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी 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 नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी
संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारीने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
मूर्ति संभारी ने बोलो स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण Narayana Swami Narayan
Swami Narayana Narayana Swami Narayana
Murti Sambarina Bolo Swami Narayana
Murti Sambarine Bolo Swami Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana Swami Narayana
Swami Narayana Narayana Swami Narayana
Murti Sambarina Bolo Swami Narayana
Murti Sambarine Bolo Swami Narayana